You thought you don't have toxic people in your life? Well, that's a lie, because they're inevitable. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is important to all of us, because this is about toxic people and how to deal with them. Today I cut it down into 5 ways to deal with toxic people, and they are everywhere. You might think, and the worst part actually is when you think a toxic person is not toxic. That's what makes them even more toxic. I feel like for us, toxic people are just, we can't avoid them. They're everywhere. So for me, I just made it very simple. 5 ways. If you write them down, take notes, know what it is, because you are going to deal with them. And they will make your life hell if you don't have a strategy. The first point on how to deal with toxic people is setting clear boundaries and communication strategies. You need to understand that toxic people, you have to have a system with them where you cut them off in a way without having to just directly hurt their ego, because I don't want to deal with that. And for me, it's just like, for example, if you have a boss that always engages in like unnecessary conversations that end up like coming in off the wrong way, or like so much toxicity, you need to figure out a way to deviate this topic to what you really want that topic to be about, or what it's supposed to be about. Like, just bring it back to the point, bring it back to what you're trying to get out of it, at the point that it's not like just rambling on and trying to get to you or hurt you in a way that's like toxic. And having that well-defined system will help you with your emotional balance, and it will start on making that person understand that they can't repeat the same thing over and over again. They will eventually get tired and understand that, what, let me just try with someone else. And it's not that they're always intending to do it, but toxic people don't often recognize themselves. But when you deviate them from what they're trying to do in that moment, or trying to establish a system where, look, this is a conversation about work, it's going to be about work. I don't want to have unnecessary or irrelevant conversation that will just end up making me feel bad about my day. Then in the mind, that's what you should tell yourself. Don't tell anyone that. Just establish a system, know how to have emotional intelligence in the conversation, where it's like you're balancing your emotions without allowing that person to push your buttons. The second point I want to talk about today is prioritize positive relationships. There is so much importance in having people who validate and always support us. So once you start hanging out with people who are positive and you're investing your energy into those positive relationships, you're going to start building resilience towards toxic influences, and you'll start to understand, oh my god, like this is what I want in my life. So whenever you have a toxic person around you, you will not be able to handle them. And the issue with toxic people is that the more you surround yourself with toxic people, the more you're going to start to normalize that behavior. But once you start to surround yourself with people who are completely on the opposite spectrum, and they're positive, supportive, and validate, always, in that positive mood, you're always going to understand when you're with one toxic person, you will identify it and you will completely put it to a stop, and you will have complete resilience for it, because you understand that it's not you, it's the toxic person. Because you, with your positive people, it's a completely different vibe. The vibration is positive, everything is positive. The third point I want to talk about here is accept the inevitability of toxic people. 75% of the people around you will probably be positive, but you will be more impacted about 25% who are very toxic. But understanding that you can't eliminate them, it will help you manage the impact that they will bring into you. For example, if you know that you have 4 friends, one of them you feel like they're toxic, focus your energy on the 3, not the 1, because it's just hard to eliminate them, and they're just always going to be there. For example, let's say that one person is just friends with the other 3, but to you feel toxic, and you don't want to talk to them about the toxicity they bring onto you, because it's not the same for them. Focus on the 3 while you focus on the 1. And I know it's hard. For us, we're human. We always, like, you'd find the celebrity having thousands of positive comment, but just response to that one negative comment. It's normal. But you have to understand that by accepting the fact that you can't eliminate them, you're going to have a better opportunity and leverage over that to be able to manage your emotions in the moment. The fourth point I want to talk about here, which is a very important one, is stop trying to change them. People don't change unless they want to change themselves. And if you focus your energy towards trying to change them, you're really draining your energy towards something that is useless and will not even happen. It's not your fault they're toxic. Leave them alone. Don't even think about how they would change, because they don't want to change if they're staying static. Like, I don't even know. Sometimes we feel like we can change people, but like, honestly, we need to work on our responses to people and who we are and improving ourselves, not trying to change toxic people who are continuously showing toxic traits. And for that, like, why would I waste my energy and just completely drain myself towards someone who is clearly toxic and doesn't want to change? So focus on yourself, your responses to them, not trying to change them. The last point I want to talk about today is addressing external factors. Try to understand where is this toxicity coming from? And by navigating and trying to see whether it's like toxic social norms, whether it's loneliness, poor job design, poor leadership around you, what is it that is bringing the toxicity in your life? And by examining those external factors, you will be able to have a deep dive as to how can you solve it. Is this something you can change? Can you, for example, change the habits you're doing on the weekends? Can you stop hanging out with the wrong people from the wrong areas? Can you figure out if you need a new coach, a new mentor, a new leader? Like, what is it that you need to do? By examining those factors, you'll be able to change the impact of toxic people in your life and the toxicity the influence is having on you. And all of this together is to eliminate the impact the toxic individuals are having on your life. And to be honest with you, I cannot even begin to explain that going through that situation is very, very difficult, because I've dealt with toxic people who I have not seen as toxic at all from the beginning. Like, it's so toxic that it could have taken a whole year for me to identify that someone is toxic. And this is a very bad thing. It's very scary. So I just hope that you work hard on eliminating the toxic individuals in your life, or at least trying to be able to know how to respond to them and, navigate strategies and systems that work best for you, and keep your life clean, keep it positive. So yeah, that's it for my video. I hope you're understanding that toxic people were always going to be there, and that you are able to at least minimize the impact they will have on your life if you figure out a strategy and a system to deal with them, as well as understanding that they will always be there. And it's kind of hard to eliminate toxic people because you could have them around you everywhere you go, but by thinking you can change them or push them away, it's just going to continuously drain your energy. So instead, let's try to work on eliminating the factors or the impact or influence they have on our lives, by understanding that we could live with toxic people and still not have them impact us. And like I said, just hang around with positive people, which will make you understand that toxic people are very identifiable, and all the other strategies that I mentioned. Please try your best to stay away if you can. If not, establish the best system that works for you, and that way you will have a pure and clean life full of just joy, just happiness, joy, good people around you. And if there's a few of them, like I mentioned, 25% of them, it's okay. We will survive. Just don't let them get to you too much. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you next time. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know how you deal with toxic people in your life. Bye.